Hi, this is Zelda Sheldon with Nashville Real Estate Rockstars at Benchmark, and well, we're going to do a little bit of a look-see into the Nashville market in my hood. So we are standing out in front of 2307 Demarius Drive, Nashville. The zip code is 37216. Now, why I'm here? This house is currently getting renovated. I sold this exact same property, this property, to the current owner just under 11 months ago for $389,000. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,633 square feet, built 1952. It was a renovated all-brick house. As you can see, it's an all-brick house. Okay, so what's happened to this house since in 11? Now, in 11 months, it was sold to a corporate buyer, a corporate real estate investment firm who bought this house. And it should have gone to first-time home buyers because it was right in the price for first-time home buyers. In fact, I had a couple of first-time home buyer clients looking for this exact type of house, but it wasn't a perfect house. It wasn't a perfect house. It was a good house. It was a really good house. In fact, this corporate buyer is making this house even better, so it's doing something with the layout. There's a problem going on now in our market. The big problem that's going on in our market is that there are so many buyers in Nashville. Now, I've just looked at the Quicken Home Loans top markets in the USA, and Nashville is in the top 10. So Nashville is a really desirable place for people to want to buy a home. How do I know that? Because I've got out-of-town clients, out-of-state clients, people who are coming in from New York City, or people who are coming in from Chicago, people who are coming in from Portland, Oregon, people who are coming in from San Francisco and San Diego. They've heard that Nashville is a really great red-hot market and that you should get into that market. That's why it's so popular. The problem with some investors, the problem with some buyers, is that they're a little bit behind what's actually going on. They come into the market with expectations of, oh, this is going to be, I'm going to get a bargain in Nashville. You know what? We came in with the same expectations when we purchased our little house in Inglewood, so it's in this suburb. Back in 2010, we purchased a little home, and we had heard, we were studying the market, and we thought we could get a house in Nashville for $15,000. Oh my goodness, $15,000. I'm in. I want 20 of these houses. But by the time we actually got into town and started looking at these $15,000 houses, we didn't want to buy them because they weren't livable. They were real teardowns. They were awful houses. So we ended up having to increase, double, and then double again our budget, what we could spend. So we ended up not buying a $15,000 house or a $20,000 house. We ended up buying something like a $100,000 house. So we got information that we thought was correct, but it turned out to be not correct. And we were surprised when we got to Nashville. Now that's what's happening now. So the market has turned. The market continues to turn. It really got to such a peak that now it's starting to level out a little bit. Level out? No, we're still at the top of the mountain. It's not leveling out yet. It's sort of rounding the corner. That's what I would say the market is doing now. How do we know that? Interest rates have just gone up. So here's a little bit of data for you. I know you all love data. Now the interest rates around about the time that this was sold. So interest rates in about November 21. This sold in August. The interest rates for a fixed loan, the interest rates were between under 3%. Under 3% for a 30-year mortgage loan to get something like this. Now it's between 5.1 and 5.27%. So interest rates are starting to go up. Not only that, but the prices have gone up. So let me just read out some of the prices in the last, well, let's just go straight to the medium house price. Where is my medium house price? Medium house price for a single family property across Nashville is $498,000, up 24.7% from a year ago. So what we've got there is two things happening so far. We've got rising interest rates, which the Fed has put out there so that they could cool this crazy market, this red hot market that just keeps going up and up and up. So they have tried to slow down the market. So what did they do? They raised interest rates from that 3%, under 3%, up to now between, like it's 5.25%, just over 5.25% now. Oh, that's gotta hurt, right? So that's going to slow people down. And also the prices have gone up 24.7%. All right, so there's something else that's happened in the market of why it is so difficult to buy a house, why buyers are going to feel the pain. Look, buyers, which sort of buyers? The buyers that are going to feel the pain are the first-time home buyers or the people who are just wanting to buy their own little single-family house. The other thing that's happening is corporate buyers. This place was not bought by a first-time home buyer. In fact, a lot of them came through. I was sitting at an open house, which I do as a realtor. I was there at the open house, telling all these people as they were coming in and out, hey, this is a great little starter home. You can do a lot with this home. But it wasn't perfect. And so they sort of turned their nose up at it. And so the corporate buyer bought it for $10,000 under the list price. They got this for a really good price. Actually, it was $10,000 under the original list price. So, so we've got corporate buyers who are coming in now. Now that was back, 11 months ago. And it's just gotten a whole lot worse because now the corporate buyers are just buying up as much as they can with all cash offers. All cash offers. And so my buyers couldn't do that. Actually, there was a way that they could do that. They chose not to do that. So there are ways that you can be an all-cash buyer. It's going to cost you a little bit more. But so that's the brutal truth. The brutal truth of this market. So let's get around to what's happening. Here's the brutal truth of the market. Rents are too high in Nashville. So the average rent has gone up 18.9% just in the last year, according to Zillow. And they do these, deep data dives. Let me just give you a little bit of an idea of what happened just in Spring Hill. So in Spring Hill, for company, that's about an hour's south of Nashville. So that's part of the big Nashville sprawl. So an hour south of Nashville, 4 companies purchased 700 homes between 2017 and 2020. They purchased 5% of the single-family homes down in Spring Hill. And during that time, when they purchased those homes, the median rent went from $1,000 to $1,800 in 3 years. That's got to hurt. Rent has got to hurt people. I remember when I was paying rent, I hated it. And we were paying cheap rent, and I still hated it. But imagine paying really expensive rent. That would be like hate on hate. So home buyers are really feeling this squeeze because they're being squeezed by these higher rents. They're being squeezed by increasing prices when they want to actually spread their wings and go out into the market and buy a little house, right? Buy a little single family house. They don't want to be living next to people who are having parties and noisy dogs and, noisy everything. They want a little bit of this. They want a little single family house, a lot of people. So they're being squeezed by rent. They're being squeezed by rapidly increasing prices. What do we do? What is the answer? And the other thing, hang on, before I give you the answer. In the first quarter of 2021, 15%. Okay, so we talked about in Spring Hill, it was 5% of the market, right? 5% of the market was bought by, these people who wanted to turn these single-family homes into rentals, right? That was only 5% in Spring Hill. In the first quarter of 2021, 15% of single-family homes were corporate buyers. So the number of corporate buying is increasing. So this is the squeeze. Okay, so we've got the squeeze of rents going up, making buyers really uncomfortable, renters really uncomfortable. Home prices going up, making it basically out of reach to a lot of first-time buyers. And then we've got the competition there, which is you have to have all cash, you have to be able to close in 7 days or whatever. That sort of competition. By now, 15% of the market is being bought by corporates. So it's a real competitive, it's like a shark pond out there. Not even a shark pond. It's like a feeding frenzy of all the sharks, like higher interest rates, corporate competition. What do you do? What do you do? Okay, I'm smiling now because there is a way. There is something that you can do. All right, so here are my tips for buyers. Number one, be prepared. Be prepared with your financing. And not just your financing from your bank that's going to give you one of those 5.27% loans. Get extra finance. Be prepared to pay all cash. Now, there are these organizations, your realtor, I can help you. I can help you contact a company that is going to turn you into an all-cash buyer. This is really important because the playing field is not level. So from a seller's point of view, like this seller, just to let you know about this seller, my seller, when I sold this home, she didn't want a real estate investment firm. She wanted first-time home buyers to buy her house. But you know what? A corporation ended up buying this house because the house wasn't perfect. So that's what I think that buyers should also do in their preparation. Okay? So, number two, the brutal truth. You've really got to know about the brutal truth. I've just told you all about the squeeze that's happening, of what's happening in the marketplace. The corporate buying power and what they can do. They can just swoop in. They can basically buy sight unseen. We don't care. We just want the inventory, right? They just want the inventory. Hey, let me just give you a little bit about this inventory. When Zillow's iBuying program failed, Zillow sold 2,000 of their homes that they had purchased to this private equity firm called Prentium. And Prentium had two rental divisions within their organization that already owned 75,000 properties. Now, that is the brutal truth, guys. That's what we're up against. So, and what they want to do is they want to take this home, they want to turn it into the maximum amount of rent that they can possibly squeeze out of the market, someone who's going to rent this house. I just asked the guys who were fixing it up, hey, do you know what they're going to do with this house? Are they going to sell it or are they going to rent it? And this guy who was just like, he's just, fixing the house up, he's just like on the tools, he said, I don't know, but if they were smart, they would rent it. Yeah, if they were smart, they're going to rent it because you can make a lot of money just keeping it, as a rental. All right, so that's part of the brutal truth. The brutal truth is the expectations of the market. So the expectations of the market is it's going up a lot. Prices have gone up 24.7% just in the last year alone. Interest rates have gone up. Yes, it was 3% or under 3%, and now it's 5.27%. Hey, I just got to say, that's the average. That's not like, do your due diligence, okay? Don't believe me. By the time you look at this video, it might be up at 6%. I don't know. I remember in the 80s when the interest rates were at like, what were they? 17%? Like, this is still pretty cheap, but interest rates prices can go right up. Just saying there, I've experienced this. All right, what else is the brutal truth? We've talked about rapidly increasing rents, rapidly increasing home prices, home purchase prices, and rapidly increasing interest rates, plus corporate companies who just want to make money out of you renters, right? All the renters. All right, so here's the other brutal truth, guys. You ready for this? I know you don't want to hear this because you have watched all those fantastic TV programs all about beautiful homes. You've walked through beautiful homes. I've worked with so many buyers walking through beautiful homes. They want the beautiful home. That's why this home had to be sold to a corporate buyer, because the buyers wanted something that was more perfect. This house wasn't more perfect. Now, you could make it more perfect, but they wanted it to be perfect when they moved in. You may need to settle for something that is less than desirable to get into the market. So what is less desirable? The kitchen might need a reno. It might be a little bit further out than what you want, like a less desirable location. It might be an up-and-coming neighbourhood. What else is less desirable? It mightn't be a single-family house. It might be a little townhouse, or it might be a condo. Let's look at the market. Now, this was published in May. We're always lagging behind because we're waiting for the data to be released. But May 2022, we're just about to have a new market report coming out. All right, I want to give you the quick and dirty, the 3 top areas of Nashville where you can purchase the most affordable houses. Number 1 is North Central Nashville, zip code 37218. The medium house price there is $333,300. Houses, 22 were sold in May. Active listings, 34, and they were only on the market for 3 days. Second most affordable housing, single-family house, is in the Madison area. Madison, zip code 37115. There were 48 properties that were sold in May and 50 active listings. The medium house price there was $337,500, and they were on the market for 4 days. And the third most affordable single-family house that you can buy in Nashville, Greater Nashville, is Antioch, 37013. 134 houses were sold in May. 81 active listings. $395,000 was the average house price. Ooh, that's edging up to, that is getting very close, guys, to $400,000 in Antioch. That is big news. And they're only on the market for 3 days. All right, so I know that a condo isn't the most desirable thing. In wrapping up, we are going to just look very quickly at the condo prices and I'm just going to give you the 3 top areas. Madison, that's your best area for buying a condo, 199,000. There's not very many of them. There are only 5 sold in May, and there's only now currently 3 active listings. Number 2 was Percy Priest Lake. Oh, I love Percy Priest Lake. We went there for a swim just 2 days ago. It was glorious, swimming in Lake Percy Priest. It was beautiful. But I'd go there, get a condo there. It's going to cost you $290,000, and that was on the market only 2 days. There were only 10 sold in May, and there is 19 active listings right now. And the third most affordable place for a condo in Nashville was Donaldson, 37214. $310,000 is what you're going to pay for a typical little condo in Donaldson. And there were 9 sold in May and 3 active listings only. Okay, the medium condo price in Nashville, across Nashville, is $319,000. So there you go. All those 3 areas, Madison, Percy Priest Lake, and Donaldson, are underneath the medium condo price across Nashville. So there you go, guys. I hope you found that this was informative. I hope that you found that this was a good reality check. If you were my client and we were going out into the market, I would make sure that you watched that video so that you could just know what was happening in the market. So yeah, if you are interested in buying in this crazy red hot market in Nashville, as I said before, it's still in the top 10 of the hottest US markets for home sales. So reach out to me and I will give you the Rockstar experience. This is Zelda Sheldon with Nashville Real Estate Rockstars at Benchmark, wishing you peace, love, and real estate. Bye.